Hi guys, welcome back to Notorious and the Outsiders expansion. We are doing the Trilogy mode. We are here at episode 3, the last contract of the Trilogy, and we are on video part 2. In part 1, for episode 3, we did create our third and final contract, Devine Kwame. I think I pronounced it Kwame in part 1, so we'll stick with that. We're on the planet Iyama, which is a mega-urban planet. If you're familiar with Warhammer 40k and the Grimdark Imperium, this is very much like a hive planet. Hive cities everywhere, things like Necromunda, you know, that kind of environment and that kind of setting. We are after Devine, who is a human, female human. And the reason that we're after her is because she killed a governor of another planet called Veltari while he was giving a speech about new laws, which of course the populace probably hated. And so she kind of took him out. So we are being given the contract by the old empire to hunt this Devine Kwame, this lady, down. Part 1. What happened in part 1? We did 4 loops. Didn't find any leads, didn't find the target, but we do have 4 notoriety now. And we do have a couple of assets which are going to be useful. Episode 3, we are based in the core worlds, so we're using Notorious as the core book. But like I say, we will be using the Outsiders every now and again for certain roles. Where are we? Right. So part 2, we're going to be starting with an exploration. We ended part 1 in the old Empire Palace, this large sort of settlement or base, which was by being controlled by the old Empire, and it's actually named the Old Empire Palace on Iyama. So of course, definitely very high in terms of old Empire population. We went to the clinic, but we got basically chased away because they thought I was a mystic. We got a asset, a rebellious civilian who will kind of attack the next enemy before us. And that's it, we're ready to go. So, enough of the talking, let's get exploring. First, exploration for part 2. Now, like I say, I do have 4 notoriety. So if we get a 4 or 5, we actually encounter the first lead, which would be good in terms of saving time. I'm trying to keep this episode to 2 or 3 videos like the other ones. So let's see what we get. We get a 5. Oh yes, we need that. If your notoriety is 3 or higher, you encounter a lead. Otherwise, roll on the events table. No, because I have 4 notoriety. So we encounter our first lead. I think this happened in the last episode. I think last episode, part 2, we got a lead straight away. Part 3, we got a lead straight away as well. Let's carry on that trend, shall we? I don't really want to do 4 or 5 videos for this. But we rolled a 5, which means we get a lead. Yes, our first lead for episode 3. So we go to the leads page. Okay, got to roll for the showdown and then the details of the lead, and then we've got to roll on the lead table. Excellent. So what are we going to have? Showdown. Where are we? So we've got to be rolling a site or setting. Black, white. We get a 4 and a 6. Right, so the site where this showdown is going to take place between us and the lead, you track them into a densely packed forest, rock formation, or junkyard. Okay, I think being a mega urban planet, I think the junkyard is probably the most thematic. And then for the setting, we get a 6. A starfighter battle breaks out in the sky above, bombarding the area with debris and stray laser fire. Now, with the showdowns, with the site and the setting, it doesn't actually affect the mechanics of the game, so it doesn't introduce potential injuries or modifiers to the rolls, anything like that. It's purely thematic in terms of the story. That's it. I mean, it's also going to affect the graphics that I use in the video. But okay, so we are in a junkyard and there's starfighters battling above. Great. Next thing we need to do, roll on species and personality and name for the lead. Okay, now, I think I'm going to be rolling randomly to see which book I'm going to use for these species, personality and names. Because that's not something that's specific to where we are kind of thing. So we get a 4, so it's going to be using the Outsiders book. Okay. So species, here we go. Right, so our first lead, okay, 2d6, we get 8. Another quadoi. We found some quadoi in episode 2, didn't we? Was it Donna? Donna, and then her twin turned up, wasn't it? Another lead? Yeah, Donna and Fina. Yeah, so we've already met some quadois in terms of being leads. Random name. Now we did use Don Zongrini last time. I didn't use the other ones because I generated the own name because I was following the way the story was generating, and I kind of made the decision that it's going to be her sister. So I generated Donna Zungrini's name for the first time we met a quadoi. But then for the second one I made up my own name. But we can roll here. We get a 2. Zed Digroni. All right, and personality 3. Shifty, cagey, or enigmatic. Shifty, cagey, enigmatic. Let's make them shifty. What else do we need to know? Go back to the wrong one. Species, personality, and then the leads table. So again, I'm going to roll random, whether it's Notorious or Outsiders, in terms of which of the leads tables that we're going to be rolling on. A 6. Outsiders again. Okay, go. Let's move Notorious out the way again. All right, so we have the Outsiders book, leads, and what type of lead are they going to be? A 2. They're a pair of twins again. Okay, we've got another pair of twins. Okay, brutish thugs assigned to protect your target. Roll for their faction. Minor or challenging. They are part of the challenging faction. Red Moon. Yeah, shifty. Kind of fits, doesn't it? All right. Okay, we're going to do this. 1 melee, 1 range. Okay, let's just generate the name for the other one. Where is the species page? Right, let's just roll this to get a name. We get a 3, Fink. Okay, so we've got Zed and Fink. So I'm going to make Zed the ranged and Fink the melee. All right. Yeah, we had this in episode 2. Actually, there were quadois. Is there something about quadois and having twins and triplets? Maybe it's a genetic thing. Because in episode 2, the lead, which was the twins, they were also quadois. So I'm thinking that maybe quadois they're born as what do they call it? Litter, like a litter, or maybe they're born as sort of twins automatically kind of thing. Maybe it's really common for that race. It's common in this game anyway. Right, what does it say here? How has your target managed to earn enough money to hire bodyguards? Well, maybe they are an assassin. Maybe they are actually a paid assassin. So, taking out a governor during a speech is not going to be an easy job that just anybody can do. So maybe Devine Kwame is actually a professional assassin. And, being a professional assassin, if you're good, you're definitely going to have the funds to get bodyguards when necessary. Okay, we can speak with one, the other one never speaks. All right, I'm actually just going to use the other book just to keep things simple. So, speak, I'm just going to use it. I mean, again, I could roll randomly, but again, I want to keep this on this page with the leads. I don't want to keep flipping the page as much as I can. So we're going to try and speak with the, which one? Z is 1 to 3. Yeah, so we're speaking with Z, X, E, Ed, Ed. That's the ranged one. So Fink is the one who never speaks. And because it's a lead, they automatically speak with us. So what do they say? Get a 1. Your target's actions were driven by revenge. So I mean, maybe they. Yeah, I think I'll keep them as being an assassin, but maybe this was a little bit personal. Maybe when the contract came up for this assassination to take out the governor, maybe Devine has a little bit of history with this governor in terms of the planet. Maybe she comes from, what was the planet? Veltari. I think Veltari was is it an aquatic planet? Yeah. Veltari is an aquatic planet, so maybe Devine is actually from that planet, and because of the governor and the old empire's sort of actions and laws and everything else, maybe there was some trouble in terms of her community losing their land kind of thing, the old empire claiming their land and basically throwing them onto the streets. This is when she was very, very young, so maybe she's always kind of remembered that. So given the opportunity to kind of strike back at the old empire and sort of have a go at them for what they did in the past, sort of forcing her family and her neighbors out of their homes and their land, maybe that's kind of an added incentive to her accepting that contract. Okay, that seems to work. Okay, so that's that done for the moment. Coming back to here. Right, so we've spoken. Now we've got the attack. So we're in a junkyard. I come across these guys, and one of them basically says, you know what? She was justified what she was doing. The old empire screwed her and her family. We agree with what she's done. She pays us good money. You are not going any further. You've got to get through us. So Zed kind of hangs back and shoots, and Fink is kind of moving in, charging in melee. Being 4-armed, he could potentially wield 4 weapons. I'm thinking he'll probably maybe just wield 2 weapons, and maybe the other 2 hands have some kind of defensive shields or something. Let's have a look. So the melee, which is Fink, gets a +1 attack and +1 defense. The ranged guy, Zed, has +2 attack. Okay. Now, I am going to probably shoot first. I think I'm probably going to shoot first because he hasn't got any defense, so I can get him out of the way quickly, I think. So I'm going to be shooting at Zed, ranged combat first, I think. Now, ranged combat, I'm going to be at +3. I've got +1 defense, and I've got a civilian who's going to attack first, don't I? I forgot about that. So I think the civilian would probably go and charge in against the melee guy. So okay, we've got to do that first. We've got to do that first. Assets are useful. So the first thing we've got to do, Notorious, page 19, right? They get +1 attack. If they win, we're a bit screwed. But if they lose, okay. I mean, what I would like the civilian to do is at least take down the defense of the melee guy. So the melee guy's got 1 defense. The asset has 0. In terms of fighting, they both have +1, I think. Yeah. So it's +1 against +1. My asset doesn't have any motivation, doesn't have any defense. But we'll see how the dice serve us. It's a draw. Now, do I take my asset as being the same as me in that they have to roll higher? I think I do, don't I? I think I do. So I'm thinking that he runs in and gets chopped down straight away. Oh dear. Okay, well, that wasn't actually much use of an asset. There you go. But it's used. I am getting a +1 defense in this game, or in this combat. So I actually have 4 defense in this combat. And again, this asset gets used. It's automatic. It says next lead. So okay, so the melee guy still has 1 defense. The ranged guy has nothing. Now, I am actually going to shoot first. Hand shot first. Locks shot first. And the armed guy, Zed, the ranged guy, has +2. Right, I've got +3 for ranged. And then the other guy has a +2. Okay, so we're rolling against the ranged guy. Come on. There you go. So 3 against 5. So I shoot the ranged guy, which is Zed. He doesn't have any defense, so he goes down straight away. Excellent. 1 down, 1 to go. So now the melee guy, Fink, has actually got into melee with me after brushing aside and chopping down the rebellious civilian, and he's now charging straight into me. So now I can use my melee weapon. The enemy, the lead, gets a +1, but he still has +1 defense. I am at +4, and I've got 4 defense. Let's go! Oh. 7, 8. Oh, that was bloody close. Defense goes. Right, second turn of combat. Oh, no. 7, 7. I lose. Now, do I want to use a motivation? Yeah, I think I will. I'm going to use a point of motivation. I probably don't need to. I can probably just use my actually, yeah, I can just use my defense. Yep. So I'm just going to take 1 hit to the armor. I'm still okay. Next combat round. There you go. The guy goes down. He gets a 3. I get a 9. Choppity chop. Both of the twins go down. Right. Question is, do I spare them or do I kill them? Actually, hang on, what's this here? Okay. Yeah, they lose. They die, get captured, whatever. I gain 1 motivation, but I think my motivation is full, so okay, doesn't matter. So, attack. If we spare them, we gain 1 favor. Could be useful. If I kill them, I gain 1 notoriety. And I don't get 1 for each of the twins. I just get 1 in total. I think I'm going to get notoriety because I really want to kind of get the other lead and the target. So I'm going to kill both these guys and I'm going to take +1 notoriety. Okay. Anything else we need to know? No, nothing else we need to know as far as the lead. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So 1 lead is down, but I've used both of my assets. The civilian was absolutely no use whatsoever. The mascot was meh. He gave me 1 defense, which made my defense 4, but I only needed 1. So again, these assets weren't actually any use at all. Oops, sorry. Move the camera. But never mind. But I've lost them. I haven't got them anymore. How are my stats looking? 3 favor, 5 notoriety, and 6 motivation. Right. On to the next. What are we doing next? We are doing, that was the exploration. So next is the destination. So we have basically left the old Empire Palace, gone back out into the city, came across a junkyard which had these twins, the leads, who are associates of the target. And we're continuing on. Where does it lead us? So we're using the Notorious book as the main one, but we do have to roll afterwards. So destination, get a 1. A small outpost or enclave run by the minor faction. Have I had a 1 yet? Destination 1. Outreach Embassy. We've been here before, or maybe it's another. Maybe it's another outreach embassy, a different little outpost. Yeah. And it is, what is it? Minor faction, new uprising. Yeah, it's the same as what I had before. So maybe this is just another little outpost. run by the New Uprising. Okay, so we can search to gain favor or speak, and then rest to get motivation. Motivation's maxed up, so I could do with some favor. So we're going to search for anyone who might know where our target is. So for the search, we're going to be using the Outsiders book. Okay, what do we get? We get a 4. You're shouted at by a hostile who has sympathy for your target. What negative experience have they had with nomads? Okay, so this is basically somebody who believes in what the assassin Devine Kwame is doing in terms of anti-Old Empire. Even though this is a planet where the controlling faction is the Old Empire, of course, there's going to be a lot of resistance, a lot of people who don't like the Old Empire on this planet. So we're shouted at by a hostile who has sympathy, +1 attack. They don't stand a chance. I'm going to have to threaten them first, I think. So I am going to try and threaten first. Add half your notoriety. Notoriety is 5, so half is 3. So we're getting a +3 to the roll. There you go. 8 versus 2, so we do threaten. The hostile backs down, no longer an immediate threat. Let's have a think. In terms of threat neutralized, which table am I going to use? I'm going to use Outsiders. So this one, we roll, we get a 5. They pause to receive a frantic message and then quickly leave. What's so much more important right now than dealing with you? You're lucky I don't have time for this. Maybe words got to them that a certain set of twins were recently chopped to pieces in a nearby junkyard, and he's kind of having second thoughts about confronting me. He's put 2 and 2 together, the fact that I was probably responsible for the twins' demise. Yeah, I'm thinking that's the reason why. So, yeah, they get a message that basically says, run away quick, he just killed the twins. So, we searched and we gained 1 favor. Excellent. 4 favor now. Great. So that was the destination. So now we're on to the next loop, the next exploration phase. So we leave the Outreach Embassy. We go back onto the trails, back onto the streets in this Megaurban hive. And we want to find the other lead, don't we? We really want to try and find the other lead. So we have, what's our notoriety now? 5. So we need a 3, 4, or 5 to find the next lead straight away, which would be amazing. And what are we going to get? We get a 3. Yes, yes, yes. Once your notoriety gets to sort of a 4, 5 value, you've actually got a pretty good chance of getting the leads. So what you'll find is that the game sequence is pretty much what you've been watching in my videos here, in that the first maybe half an hour, 45 minutes of the game, you're kind of seeing locals and hostiles and everything else. And once your destination gets up to sort of 3, 4 level, then you have a very high chance of getting that lead. And then after that, it's also a very high chance of getting the next lead and then the target pretty quickly afterwards. So you can look at this game as having sort of 2 halves. We actually get our second lead. How cool is that? So again, we're going to roll a 4. Outsiders again. Oh, this episode loves the outsider leads. Right, back to the Outsiders book. Showdown. Where is this confrontation going to be? Let's just quickly check the time. Could I actually do this? If I manage to find the target straight after this. But the thing is, I've got to do destination after this, so I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be enough time to do all of it in this video. I may have to do a 3rd video anyway. Right, showdown. Right, site and setting, black and white as usual. We get a 4, which is another. Oh no. Oh no, we're using different tables here. You track them deep into a series of subterranean passages full of strange lighting and dancing shadows. Why does that sound familiar? Was that episode 2? I think that was episode 2, wasn't it, when I did the target? The target was in the subterranean passages. Okay. And then 3 for the setting. You disturb a huge beast that was lying dormant somewhere nearby. And it relentlessly pursues you both, often appearing out of nowhere. So we're going to be doing a running battle with a bloody great beast, a bloody great monster chasing us. Okay, that's interesting. But I mean, it doesn't actually give any stats in terms of the beast. So it's not actually going to affect the combat. It's, like I say, it's just thematic in terms of the area that we're playing. But yeah, we're basically running away from this huge beast while at the same time either shooting at each other or slicing at each other. Right, the lead is 5 outsiders. Okay, so for the lead, we're going to be rolling species and personality from... Well, let's do species first. I can roll random personality as well. Right, species is from outsiders. So 2d6. Please not another quadoi. We get an 8. It's another quadoi. Wow, so many quadois. What's the name? I can't have the same name as previously, so okay, I had that one. I've had that one already. Zed Degroni. Let's roll another one. This time we get a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is a new one. Cube Quarilli. Cube Quarilli. That's a bit of a weird name. Cube Quarilli. Personality is from Notorious. Again, the personalities don't really have much in terms of game mechanics, but they can add to the story. So personality, here we go. We get a 3. Aloof, sarcastic or rude. Let's do aloof. They look down their nose at anybody with less than 4 arms. Then we're going to roll on the leads table. Again, we're rolling to see which one we're going to be using. And we are using outsiders for the lead. Okay. Bump. All right, so we're using the outsiders table for the lead. Here we go. Who are they? Please not twins again. We get a 6. 6. What are they? They're a local assassin. Okay. So, I mean, as a lead, being an assassin, and again, I'm kind of getting the push towards making the target also an assassin. So again, maybe they are familiar with each other, and maybe they've worked together in the past. So there is that link there. But they've been hired by the controlling faction. Okay, now the controlling faction is actually the Old Empire, who is the same faction that's given me this contract. So maybe within the Old faction there are sort of feuds between the sort of higher ups, the sort of ranking officials, and they're always trying to sort of undermine each other, backstab each other. So maybe the member of the Old Empire who gave me, or gave the guild the contract that I'm doing, maybe they are a competitor, and this one is basically trying to stop me from fulfilling the contract because that will make the competition look bad. So I'm basically thinking that, like I say, the element of the Old Empire who made the contract and the element of the Old Empire who made this assassin contract are kind of competing factions within the Old Empire faction. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Right, so we're up against a bloomin' assassin. That's really not good. And 4-armed Cube Curilli, and they're aloof. Okay, they've been tracking you, waiting for the right time to strike. Resolve all. Okay, first of all, who's desperate to stop you finding the target and uncovering the truth? I think I've kind of answered that already. Second, speak with them as you warily circle each other. All right, speaking is outsiders. Okay. Speaking, talking. There we go. Right. Being a lead, they automatically talk, but we need to see what they're going to be saying. We get a 3. Your target was being paid a lot of credits by a faction. How were they led to believe that this was just another job? You'd know all about that, Nomad. We're not so different. Okay, so I can roll up a random faction, I think. So they were paid a lot of credits by a faction. How were they led to believe that this was just another job? Same as any other job, I'd have thought. But which faction? Which faction were they paid by? The old Empire. Oh, the internal intrigue is heavy. So the assassin. Oh my god. This is a trilogy in itself. You have an element within the old Empire, maybe like the local administration, who has put out a contract on this assassin for killing this governor of Veltari. You also have an element within this admin of the old Empire who has put out a contract on me to stop me from fulfilling this contract. Third, the assassin herself was paid and the contract came from the old Empire as well. So it's, my god, there's like backstabbing everywhere. Everybody's against each other. What a horrible place to live and work. Now, whether it's 3 different elements within the old Empire or 2, oh, this is... Because maybe the element that's put the contract out on me to stop this contract being done, maybe they also put the contract on the governor. So maybe they also paid the assassin. Ooh, yes, that makes sense. So there's not 3 elements within the old Empire involved with this. There's only 2. The one who contracted the kill and then contracted somebody to stop me, and then the other element who is contracting me to find the killer. God, that's confusing. I hope you guys can follow that. But yeah, that's how it's going to work. How the hell am I going to write this down in the journal? I like the way that this is all helping me to generate a story in terms of... I also like the way that the prompts and the things that I'm rolling up in the tables kind of link together really well. I mean, we saw this in episode 2, how I was able to kind of create a linking story and a sort of an arc, like a story arc, which involved a lot of the things. So that's actually a sign of good writing in terms of the things that we're provided with to allow us to easily put those things together to create sort of a cohesive story. I like it a lot. Right, so we have spoken with the lead, with this assassin, and it's all getting clearer. But now they're going to attack us, and they're attacking me in melee with a poisoned weapon, +3 attack, and I get -1 defense. Now they do not have defense, which is good. I'm getting a -1, so I'm only getting 2 defense for this combat. They're getting +3 and it's melee, so I'm getting +4. I've got no more assets to help me. I've got a ton of motivation in case I need it. Let's go. So 4 versus 3. Oh goodness, all this work, all this prep. Look, all this writing down of things I need to do and things that are happening, and it's like, right, let's go. Whack, dead. Because you've got no defense. So 1 hit, he's down. Okay. 2 down. Now, do I want to increase favor or notoriety? Because once you kill, or once you defeat, shouldn't say kill really, because killing is just one option, but once you defeat an enemy, you can spare them to gain 1 favor or kill them to gain 1 notoriety. Now, I'm a little bit hesitant to spare them because I think in part 1, that nomad that I kind of spared at the end of, what was it, episode 2. Yeah, he's come back to haunt me because he escaped capture. So I'm thinking, and this is an assassin. I mean, you don't let these guys go, because they've got a contract. They're going to come back. So I've got no choice but to kill him. It's an assassin. I've got no choice. Yeah. So we're going to kill, and we're going to gain 1 notoriety, which means that I have 6 notoriety. Now, quickly checking the time because I'm thinking that this is enough for part 2. So there will be a part 3. There will be a part 3 where I think we've got a pretty decent chance of getting the target quickly. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I've got to do the... I'll quickly do the destination first before that. So, attack. Let's do it here. Attack. We attacked, we kill, +1 notoriety. Yeah, I forgot. This was all during the exploration. So what I'm going to do, before we finish part 2, I'm just going to quickly do the destination to round up this loop. And then we will take a break and come back with part 3 for hopefully the conclusion. Right, destination. Right, we're rolling on the Notorious basic table. Put up 2. Small outpost or enclave run by the challenging faction, which is the Red Moon. So this is the Red Moon Tower. Do I go back to the Red Moon Towers again? I think I will. Because I've just uncovered and fought 2 leads. Well, 3 technically, because these were twins. So the Red Moon Towers are nearby. And that was over here in part 1. So I think I'm going to go back to the Red Moon Towers after dealing with these leads and get a little bit of recuperation, I think. So yeah, you arrive in a small outpost or enclave. Okay, we've got 2 options. I mean, I could recuperate, gain motivation. I think my motivation's full. Search for anyone who might know your target to gain 1 favor. Yeah, I can do that. I could do with some more favor. So we'll quickly do a search. So the search table I'm going to use is Notorious. Okay. So it's this book here. We are going to do a search. And then we'll get, what did it say just now? 1 favor. All right, search. We got a 5. Find a local who's been paid to keep an eye out for nomads, gain 1 notoriety. What blatant lie do they tell you to hide their true motive? Oh, I've got another shadow. Somebody's sneaking up behind me again. I'll just try and lose them this time. I can't be bothered to confront them, I think. Besides, the video's going on a little bit, so I'm just gonna, sort of try and lose them in a crowd or something. Gain 1 notoriety, no, maximum, but I do get 1 favor. And we are going to end part 2 there. What have we basically done? We've come across 2 leads. We've lost both of our assets. We're almost maxed out on our stats. We're just 1 favor away. But with 6 notoriety, there's a very high chance that in the next video, part 3 of episode 3, we're actually going to find the target. Okay. So guys, once again, for what was this? This is the 8th video, is it, in the series? The Trilogy. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've been enjoying this. Please consider liking and subscribing. Also, put comments down below. The algorithm screws all of us who are not these sort of huge channels. And in our little genre of gaming, the algorithm doesn't like anybody who doesn't do D&D or Warhammer. So every like, every subscription, every little comment really does help us in this little corner of the interweb. So guys, I will meet you in part 3, the final part, hopefully, to round up and complete the trilogy. That's the plan. But until then, take care. Stay safe. Cheers.